Hello and welcome to ThePrint. My name is Zoya and I bring to you our latest in the Great Speeches series where we present speeches and debates that have shaped modern India. In 1954, after extensive debates, the Indian Parliament passed the Special Marriage Bill. During one such debate on 17 September, five-time Lok Sabha MP of the Communist Party of India, HN Mukherjee, congratulated the House for doing some real good work. So, who was HN Mukherjee? Renowned for his eloquent speeches in both English and Bengali, Mukherjee was a prominent lawyer and parliamentarian awarded the Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan in 1990 and 1991. Former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh once described him as a rare communist who was also a true liberal. So, what did HN Mukherjee say during this debate? Mukherjee argued that marriage, as an institution, must evolve to reflect human dignity and compassion, especially on issues like divorce by mutual consent. He said, and I quote, "Why is it that we have to provide for certain changes in our marriage law? It is because it is absolutely cruel, it is inhuman, it is derogatory to human dignity if we refuse reasonable facilities for divorce when marriage can no longer be continued on those terms which are self-respecting for human beings." End quote. Mukherjee was clear that if Parliament denies reasonable facilities for divorce and compels two people to live together against their will, it will only lead to unhappiness and harm. He said again, and I quote, "It happens in life, there is no getting away from it, that sometimes two people cannot continue to live together without very serious damage to themselves. Now, you make them live together, and I say that is vulgarity of the lowest order. If we are going to justify such indecency and vulgarity on the strength of something alleged to have been sanctified by scriptural or juristic ideas of some time or other, that is something which this Parliament would not accept." End quote. Mukherjee emphasized that the goal of the Special Marriage Bill was not to provide happiness as though it were a commodity, but rather to minimize misery. He said, "It may not perhaps secure the maximization of happiness without concomitant legislation in the social and economic sphere on a very large scale, which the government of today is not even prepared to contemplate. But at least let us try to minimize the misery. That is why we are going to pass this legislation, and that is why I say this House will wish it Godspeed." End quote. That said, Mukherjee also expressed genuine happiness at the significant step forward and asked the House to congratulate itself. Then, in a rather lighter vein, he proceeded to say this about marriage. "Just as a person can laugh at himself if he is self-confident about himself, so our society has laughed at the institution of marriage from time to time. I have heard somebody say that the married estate is like a beleaguered fortress. Those who are outside want badly to get in, and those who are inside want equally badly to get out. Then, sir, there was a wise Frenchman, Montaigne, who wrote in his essays, 'A good marriage would be between a blind wife and a deaf husband.'" End quote. Now, coming to why Mukherjee's speech was significant. Mukherjee's speech was a powerful endorsement of the Special Marriage Bill and a critique of the obstacles to social progress. He acknowledged the bill's importance in addressing India's economic and social inequalities, especially those affecting women. But he also didn't shy away from criticizing the resistance to the bill's divorce provisions from conservative factions. His speech captured the ideological tensions of the time and underscored the need for laws that uphold human dignity and personal choice. Now let's understand the Special Marriage Act that this parliamentary debate eventually led to. Under this law, people from different religions can marry without renouncing their faith. Marriages solemnized under the Special Marriage Act are not governed by personal laws and are considered secular. The Act's origins go back to a legislation that was proposed in 1872. The Act applies throughout India except in the territory of Jammu and Kashmir. However, it also applies to citizens domiciled in other parts of India who temporarily reside in Jammu and Kashmir. Here are some conditions to register and solemnize marriages under the Act. Number 1. Neither party should have a living spouse at the time of marriage. Number 2, both parties must be of marriageable age, 21 for men and 18 for women. They should be of sound mind and capable of giving consent and should not be in a prohibited relationship such as close blood relations. Number 3, before marriage, the couple must give notice of their intention to marry to the marriage officer in the district where at least one of them has resided for 30 days. The notice is then displayed publicly for 30 days to allow for objections to the marriage on reasonable grounds. One copy of this notice is sent by registered post to both parties as per the given address. Number 4, registration of the marriage is done after this 30-day period elapses in the presence of both parties and at least 3 witnesses. A marriage certificate is then provided to them, which becomes legal proof of the union. Thank you for listening. For more from The Print, become a subscriber at theprint.in/subscribe. I'm Zoya in Delhi. Tune in every day for more such analysis.